After processing all of the content we have reviewed this semester, I believe that the mass media has a significant influence on public perceptions of crime and deviance. To me, this can have negative effects on targeted groups such as minorities and other marginalized individuals. Mass media can be a threat in the sense that it controls what we as consumers view and can create biases that serve the purposes of those in high power positions. In The Relativity of Deviance, John Cura defined the term moral panic, which basically is when a group experiences a reaction that is disproportionate to the threat that's perceived. We can see this happen often with headlines that contain shock value. These attention-capturing headlines can be used as a way to promote ratings or push an agenda, while also reinforcing negative stereotypes or having an impact on how others view their communities. In crime cultivation across media genres and channels, Maria Grabe and Dan Drew reviewed a study which involved the use of TV program genres and channels and assessed how viewers' perceptions towards crime were influenced. Findings showed that after viewing news reports, those surveyed overestimated the amount of violent crimes committed by non-Caucasians. This study also showed that newspaper coverage of local homicides resulted in increased fear. The way that minority groups are represented by the media reinforces stereotypes of African Americans as being dangerous criminals. The impact of exposure to depictions of race and crime in TV news on viewers' social judgments discussed how Blacks are underrepresented as victims and overrepresented as criminals. In the media, Blacks are almost 4 times more likely to be represented as criminals than as police officers, a statement which is contradicted by statistics according to the Bureau of Justice. Furthermore, construction of the crack mother icon explored how media helped construct a negative stereotype which continues to target African Americans. Media campaigns triggered during the Reagan administration created a panic in regard to a drug epidemic by showing countless images of crack babies and Black neighborhoods overtaken by drugs. This was a way to fuel Reagan's war on drugs, which set the stage for mass incarceration and criminalization of Blacks. The stereotype of the crack mother was a result of this media frenzy. The influence of media shows the relationship between media and politics, as well as how they can work together to push agendas of individuals in power. Mental disorder and violence, an empirical picture and context, provided another example in which marginalized groups can be targeted in a way to promote an agenda for those in power. This reading discussed the misconception that psychiatric patients are viewed as violent. According to the reading, mentally ill individuals who do not suffer from substance abuse are no more dangerous than non-patients. Since psychiatric patients are often viewed as powerless, they can be an easily targeted group, and by fueling the belief that they are a danger, politicians or those in power can promote policies to invest in mental health services as a way to address crime. In the textbook, Cura defined the iron quadrangle as being made up of the media, government, activists, and experts. These entities work together, even while being in disagreement, to promote a mutual interest. A lot of times they work together to promote a policy or stir racial tensions. In regard to the discussion on media and crime, we see that media has been used to influence the perception of citizens by priming, which can affect a person's view on policies in regard to crime punishments. In 2014, the Fresno Police Department reported the following arrest totals, according to the Bureau of Justice website. For all crimes reported that year, 24,368 were committed by whites, while 6,205 were committed by Blacks. In regard to drug-related arrests, a total of 3,561 were committed by whites, while only 732 were committed by Blacks. These statistics provided factual evidence of how, although Blacks may be overrepresented as criminals in the media, when it comes to actual arrests, they do not represent the majority. Conflict theory is a theoretical perspective that best describes the influence